Hello everyone, welcome back. This is I Say Cosm. Today we're continuing with Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones. Now, we have a few people to interrogate. I think one of them, or maybe two of them, are in the Essex Hotel here. He's not gonna help. Let's have a look upstairs. Uh-oh. Essex. Magnificent Horatio. Locked 102. Hope these walls. Oh, hello. The desiccated corpse who died crawling across the floor. Looks like he spent his last breath trying to defend his most precious possession. Thoroughly besmeared with soot and grime, this vanity table has fallen victim to the general decrepitude, fretting away at the once spotless features of this establishment. Yep. Alright, that's me. Let's have a look in here. We'll just take the headgear. Even a storm or an earthquake couldn't have easily caused such destruction, but in these times, the reckless debauchery of the current lodgers can easily account for it. From a few stories up, one can better survey the scope of the havoc that stormed through Arkham. Sad. No. Shiv. And a few cigarettes. I'll take those. Doesn't look like there's anything else in here, really. Locked door, locked door. The overall profusion of portraits such as this, which always seem to depict the owlish visages of Arkham's Puritan fathers, only serves to accentuate the invariance of the town's existence. Guess we go up. We'll see what we can gather from these places. 201. Oh, hello. This is especially a frustrating find because I had to buy that. What a waste of cigs. And spaghetti. Hey, cultist robes! And note to Agatha. We're finally living the dream! Ta-da! I don't know if that gives us really anything in the form of protection, but who cares? And the note to Agatha. Here we go. Read. To Agatha, you shall not under any circumstances remove these garments from this place of storage. Not even for cleaning. It's essential that you heed this instruction, for their untimely absence would create a seriously inconvenient situation in consideration of my duties for tonight's ceremony. J. A rather unnerving occult symbol has been drawn on the floor of this filthy and disorderly room, constituting the evidence that its tenants could have had motives other than mere self-indulgence. Occult. Some kind of ritual took place in this room. You may try to decipher the purpose and meaning behind it. Proceed. Oh. Your careful scrutiny suggests that a sex magic ritual was conducted here. A pragmatic attempt given that no child has been born since the Black Day. Something strikes your interest amid the fetish objects laid on the floor. You have gained Venus of Willendorf. Say what? Is that an occult item? This idol, named after the Willendorf excavation, owes its fame to being the talk of the tabloids at one point. I wonder, were they trying to conceive a child? You can hear someone, probably a man, sobbing behind the locked door. It's knock. The person inside shouts, "Leave me alone!" I just need a few questions answered. Questions? About what? The Arkham Stabber. What does this have to do with me? The man takes a deep, sobbing breath before continuing. You listen to me. There is a ruthless killer in this town. Yes. And he is worse than that. He is the king of all of Arkham's murderers. You know who I'm speaking of. The black-hearted, wax-faced son of a bitch. Now go ahead and point the finger on me. I don't care who hears me. Say it. He's a son of a bitch. You mean that king of dark suits and smelly armpits? He is not a good person. Shame on him. Then please leave, sir. His voice throbs with pure, boiling hatred. Consider the things I'm planning to do. Even talking to me might cost you your neck. I'm willing to take that chance. Would you open the door, please? First, prove to me you're not with the mob. Yes. I'm obviously more intelligent than any of those buffoons. The room goes silent for a few seconds. Then a lock clicks and the door yawns open. Ah. We insult the mob to gain this guy's favor. Ah, it's the magician man. The dusty corner is cluttered with the depressed illusionist's quirky paraphernalia. Gags and gimcrackery. Nope. Deck of marked cards, okay. You're really not going to kill me, right? The man's severely swollen eyes tell you that he's been in this state for some time. So nice of you to mention the possibility, but not just yet. For a fragment of a second, you think you see disappointment flicker in his reddish eyes. Alright, ask your oh so important questions. What do you know about this Arkham Stabber? I've heard that some folks were being stabbed. I've barely left this gloomy chamber for a long time. Weeks, or is it months? Even time in this damn place. Whoops. Even the time is damned in this place. He wipes his eyes with the sleeve of his tuxedo and continues. Dusk was always the most melancholic time of the day for me. He laughs bitterly. Now I am trapped forever in this moment of eternal dusk. All alone with my memories of her. On a bright day, some memories can warm your heart. On days like this, they pierce you like ice, reminding you of what has been lost forever. But don't wear sackcloth and ashes for the gone. They are free now, like birds set from their cages. How beautiful. Maybe that's all I have. He raises his voice suddenly. And wrath. My wrath for that king of apes. What's your grudge against Waxface? His eyes focus on the memory of his sworn enemy and he answers slowly, making every word count. He took what is dearest from me and I plan to do exactly the same. And if I can't find something that monster holds dear, which would be of no surprise to me at all, then I will take the wretched life from his fat carcass. Did you hear about the young man who was killed on his street a while ago? Catch him wavering for a short moment. Did you hear about the lovely young lady who was killed at the hands of that tyrant? Look, pal, we each have our own wounds in this wretched town. Come on, you know that I know. Look at me in the face. Tell me you know something. I can't say that I like your tone. You'd better leave if you're done with your questioning. What lady? His tired eyes begin to water as if about to continue their routine of constant weeping. She was my assistant. Not just my assistant. Violet was everything I had. What happened to her? She was. He stops abruptly, growing angry. I don't suppose you came here to ask about Violet. Forget about your questions and leave me be. I heard you have a sword. So what? Do you think my stage swords are like the meat cleavers the mob uses to behead people? I'm a magician, for God's sake. He casts his eyes down. I mean, I used to be one. One of the best. Haven't you heard? The magnificent Horatio has come to town. I think I saw one of your flyers. Is that supposed to make me feel better? He looks at the state of his clothes and smiles bitterly. Look at my magnificence now. I knew it. You're a wizard. You're Merlin disguised in a cheap tuxedo. Hey, this is not cheap. And I'm no hedge wizard like those mad sheiks of the cult. I don't have any control over poor folks' minds or anything like that. But if you learn the art of manipulating the audience's perceptions, combined with special optical effects, you could put on a real spectacle. Something that people will remember their entire lives. For the first time, you catch a glimpse of life in this pained man. A pure moment of sharing the same space with the impossible, the unexplainable. That's magic. Dark clouds gather again as quickly as they parted. But when Violet died, the magic in me died with her. Mentioned the sheiks of the cult. Look, I use the principles of nature in my craft. I'm not a scientist, but I'm well read. Optics, physics, engineering. Every spectacle is grounded in delicate calculation. But those mad priests are a different breed. They're almost like... He struggles to find the right words. They suck the faith out of their worshippers and turn it into a disease. Sickness? It is the ultimate form of art. The art of shaping reality. Seems like you're on the cusp of joining them. I shan't to keep you. Hey, nice. I see another thing. Goodbye. Talk to him again. Your window directly overlooks the crime scene and you say you never left the room, yet you saw nothing. Oh. Oh. I was... Horatio averts his gaze once again. He may be a master of visual deception, but his attempts at verbal deception are a disaster. I was sleeping. This is some very, very naughty behavior. Very naughty. You know what is the most magical thing in this world, wizard? A 45 caliber bullet penetrating a human skull, which is the toughest of all bone groups in our bodies. We're not going to threaten him. We're going to chastise him. I didn't see anything. I was... Horatio, you're a terrible liar. The man suddenly blurts out in angry desperation. Alright, I saw it. I saw how they ripped that young man to pieces. Oh. Ah, they, you mean. Those they. I'll find those bastards. Don't you worry, Mr. Wizard. A swarm of shadows with black stingers that feed on the flesh of men. Along with fear, there is a touch of admiration in the man's eyes. Why would you hide this information? The pained man shouts at you in tears. Because they were strong and merciless. And they knew how to kill. They're as ruthless as that monster, Waxface. Wait, there's more. You want to know everything, huh? When the shadows were done with that man, I stormed down the stairs to catch them. I shouted after them, but they never even turned to look at me. And I swear they flew away through the air. What were they exactly? How should I know? I've been ridiculed for these kinds of things all my life. Spirits of some kind. But I could feel the hatred oozing out of them. It was like mine. Maybe even stronger. Went after them? Only because I wanted them to kill Waxface. I would give anything to make him suffer like I did. He's clearly on the verge of a nervous breakdown. My life, my soul, anything. Did you see where the shadows went? I might have. He looks at you with a fresh expression. I just might. You asked me for the truth and I told it. You took a chance on my retribution so some kind of repayment is only fair. You know what I'm planning to do, and you're going to help me. He wipes his eyes with his dirty sleeve. That is, if you want to know where the House of Shadows is. You really think I can succeed at that? Of course not. You think I'd trust a stranger with something that important? All I need is an unguarded entrance to the Blackened Club. The rest I'll take care of myself. First, you tell me what he did to your assistant. You're the persistent type, aren't you? I used to be the same before all these. He recollects the tormenting events of his recent past. Violet, she never wanted that show. Not one bit. A private show for the unseen Imperator himself. Who would want that? But I told her it would be good for us. He was the only authority in this chaos, after all. I thought if he liked the show, he would protect us. Foolish, wasn't it? Was that a question or a statement in disguise of a question? Or perhaps a question in disguise of a statement, which is in disguise of a question? But I was persistent. I persuaded her. So we found ourselves there in the end. Straight into the casino lounge. Spent hours preparing the stage. I wanted that show to be perfect. I wanted to make an impression. When we were finally ready, and nervous as hell, he came. Surrounded by his made men, who were like flies buzzing around rotten meat. We weren't allowed to look at him directly, but I could see his huge silhouette out of the corner of my eye. We started the performance, and the first few tricks went well. I couldn't see the man's face, and the made men seemed uninterested. But I can tell when there's a spark in the eyes of the audience. Then the time came for the blade box act. You've heard of the trick, right? A lady gets inside a prop coffin, and the magician stabs it through with swords. Then the lady comes out just fine, and you never know how. In reality, the entry points of the swords are all precisely calculated. I see. He's growing more anxious with every passing second. We were in the middle of the act, and Violet was inside the box. When I was about to insert the third sword, I noted something moving from the corner of my eye. Waxface had actually stood up and was moving towards me. I could hear his heavy footsteps without even turning my head. I was trembling when he finally asked me if he could give it a try. Before I knew what was happening, his brutes grabbed the swords from my hands and grappled me. Horatio looks like he is being grappled again, this time by invisible hands. They forced me to keep my head down. Let him continue. He started stabbing the box. He speaks as if he's suffocating, shattering the wood savagely. Then I heard Violet scream. Blood was seeping out of the box. Full of agony, he shouts. The box became a real coffin. He's returned to his broken, lifeless state now. I don't know if I should accept experience for that, really. When he was done, I heard that accursed voice again, calling me a fraud, ordering his men to throw me out. I don't know, care, or remember what's happened since then. Just because I said my piece doesn't mean you should feel sorry for me. If you want to help me, I already told you how to do it. I'll be fine. I wasn't this busy before the apocalypse. Wait for my return. Good. The monster's lair is called the Blackened Club. It stands in French Hill. Just find a way in and return to me. He seems lost again in his crimson plans of vengeance. Oof. That's a story. I guess we continue on upstairs. Oh, okay. Got a couple of rooms to explore. I have something to say. As soon as you enter the room, the outsider gives you a cautionary look. As a creature who spent almost all of his existence in such environs, I can say with complete certitude that this place is haunted. Is there something specific I should be worried about? Whoever or whatever the entity bound to this room may be, let us hope we do not become the target of its wrath from beyond the grave. Thanks for the warning. Interesting. Let's find out what it is. Let's mess up this room and find out what is haunting it. The Book of Law. A blood circle. I think I already have that, don't I? Where's my cult? Evil eye, blood circle, yeah. That's alright. He ammunition. The clinging dampness that pervades the room has embrittled the frame of this enormous bed. Even without your knowledge in the forbidden, you would have felt that something is wrong with this room. It is clear that an undead entity inhabits this cold, dank place. Would you like to summon the spirit? Yes. Oh, a gentleman. Who disturbs me? The entity that you just called from the beyond the veil has now materialized into the figure of a man wearing anachronistic clothes, seemingly from the Victorian era. The ghost's aura emits a tangible sensation of angst and distemper. I said no room service, shouts a hollow, trembling voice. What must a gentleman do to get some privacy? I am not room service. I am the one who summoned you. Then I must ask why you would do such a foolish thing. I finished my business with the unjust world of the living a long time ago. I finished it myself, like a true gentleman. Why disturb me now, meat man? Spirit, as your summoner, I, Cosm, bind you to this realm until you do my bidding. Yep. You observe the ghost sensing the power and truth of your words. Pushed around in life, pushed around thereafter. What do you require of me? Examines your clothes with distaste. You silly man. Oh. Scare the bastard next door and you'll be free from my leash. The manifestation's ectoplasm, byproduct of the summoning, thickens before your very eyes to an almost oozing viscosity. This I will do. But if you bother me with anything else, you shall learn what makes me a dangerous man. I had nothing to lose in life. I have nothing to lose now. I wonder if I had dressed like a gentleman, if he would have interacted better with me. This place is damned! Get out of here, Carrion Jack. You scum. Alright, let's check it out. Yep. Nothing there. Let's have a look over here. Julian's crumpled note. Here we go. Read. My eternal light, Maria. My once thriving hopes have been dashed, leaving only despair. The shadow that devoured the city prevents us from reaching the outside world. We should never have come to this godforsaken place. I should never have said yes to this wicked deal. Please know that I did everything to have a better life with. Here the neat script is interrupted by angry scratches. Julian continues. What the hell is the point? I've written the same thing again and again, but none of my letters will ever leave Arkham. There they lay unread in the damp post office, where they will stay forever. Oh, sweet Maria, I'll never see you again. Please forgive me. Okay. Etienne Lafayette strives around the clock to keep the hotel beds in acceptable condition, but the plainly stained and scarred furniture in this room leaves a lot to be desired. Is that all I needed from here? Let's have a look. Great, now we gotta go to the post office again. Alright. Let's check this last room and move on out. This room is much cleaner and in better repair than the rest of the hotel. It doesn't take a detective to deduce that Etienne makes this place his home. Oh, I kind of feel bad for ransacking his place then. Locked. And a useless key. Why am I running backwards? Raw opium. Opium. I don't have the skills to lockpick. I should have invested in that. Alright, well, we've gone through here. Ah, cool. The cesspool of Arkham. We did everything everywhere, so let's go to the bottom floor. And we'll finish up there for today. Well, let's hope we can find some good answers in the next one. This has been ISA Cosm. Stay tuned for more Cosmic Horror video games. Thanks for watching.